Hey guys, Ryan Canaday here with the Start Guys, and I have with me today another Start story, and it happens to be my wife, Tami. Hey, I knew we were going to get Tami on here. It was just a matter of time, but we're picking this particular day for a couple of reasons. First, we are in Nairobi, Kenya. We just woke up in our hotel room. We got in late last night. We were on separate flights, so she got in a couple hours later than me. It's 6 o'clock in the morning here, meaning back home it is about 9 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. So it's not her birthday yet back home, but it is her birthday in Kenya. Happy birthday, Tami.
I get an extended birthday celebration, I think that means, so that's kind of fun.
Baby. So here's the deal. We are meeting up with the rest of the team here in just a few minutes, so we want to shoot a quick video. We're getting on a bus in our vans to make an 8-hour bus trip to Rusinga Island. It's western Kenya.
Through the beautiful Rift Valley. I'm thrilled.
Yeah,
it's going to be neat.
So I've been here a few times. Tami's never been here, so it's cool. We're here for the first time together in Africa, and this is significant because 1 year ago this week, and this is her big, so these are start stories of people starting their big. 1 year ago this week, I was actually in Africa, and she FaceTimes me and lets me know that she is quitting her job that she's been at for 13 years, her corporate job. So I want her to talk a little bit about what that was like, what she's doing with her life now, because she started Project I Am For You. She's going to talk a little bit about that. She is now a keynote this week at a women's conference here in Africa, which is just amazing. And she's doing some incredible things. And I want her to encourage, particularly you women who are out there on the edge of taking new steps in life. So, Tim, I'm going to throw it to you. I'm glad we're in Africa together. I'm glad it's your birthday. We have an assortment of fruit here in our hotel room and some gifts, and it's been a good morning so far.
And coffee.
Yes, we have to have coffee. It is early here, and we've been flying for 2 days.
Oh, yes. So this will be like cup number 1 of maybe 10, I think, and the size of it.
There you go.
Especially.
So tell us what it was like to quit your job and start the new thing.
Okay, so...
And the fears that come with it.
Well... And of course, that's the whole thing and the whole underlying part of the story. But we'll start with launching into the whole part of what pulled me and what was pulling at me for so long. It was years, and I don't think I'm no special case here. There's nothing special about my story if you guys have been there and you know. That thing that pulls you, that drives you. You know when you get up in the morning and there's something bigger, but you're not quite sure what it is. I had that for a really long time. I just, as I like to say, I hadn't gotten to the point of processing or waking up. So I wasn't at the point, I wanted to wake up too soon, I think. And I hadn't processed all my internal, like the deepest pieces of my story. So I wasn't able to take the first step or the first leap of faith until I got to that point. And it took a really long time because I just sat there without cultivating any of myself or my story or where I wanted to go, and actually just was held back by my fears and my own limitations and my own self-talk and self-thoughts and insecurities and feeling like I wasn't enough, and never took that first step.
So what was it that kept you? So she was in a corporate job sitting, not just sitting behind a desk, but for lack of better words, sitting behind a desk for 13 years, doing something you weren't really passionate about, doing something you didn't feel called to. And I think so many people are, and if you're listening to this right now, you know who you are, you know what that feels like, but you're stuck doing something in life that you don't feel passionate about, you don't feel called to. What kept you there?
I think that was the hardest thing, is I couldn't identify what I was passionate about for such a long time. And Ryan would often ask me, what is it that drives your spirit? What is it in your heart that calls to you? And I was in it for so long, so it was always coffee, and I'm in the right place, and I love coffee, and I still do love coffee. But for me, I never was able to tap into beyond the coffee for a really long time. And so when I finally opened, I guess, myself up to understanding what...
She was working in the Starbucks world, for those of you that don't know that.
For most of those 13 years, yes. And I guess I started connecting my passion of coffee to actually the backstory of the people. And then, oh my gosh, it was an aha moment of, it's not just about the coffee or the coffee bean, it's about the people behind the coffee bean and their stories and the connection to them. And okay, that all makes sense. Because that true too, I went and got a degree in psychology, and it was about the people. Okay, it's not about the coffee. It's about the people. When I started making all these deep connections, back to my early childhood of always my deep pull towards people and care for people. It comes from my dad passing away when I was 5 years old, when he was 35, which I happen to be turning today. And I'm celebrating in Africa, doing something huge. So again, all these connecting pieces coming together, and then here I am today.
So tell us now, because we got to meet people in just a few minutes. But so you were in this job, you left, and I don't want to make it all about the job, because what we're talking about here is finding your why, what you're passionate about. And we're actually launching our why book here in Africa this week. But tell us how you got there and what that looks like now. And the fears and struggles that come with that.
Yeah, so it is easy to say it's all about like leaving the job, and that's a big piece of it, but really the big is starting Project Time for You and connecting the deepest parts of my soul to doing the things that I care about most.
What is Project Time for You?
So Project Time for You is a LLC that I started a year and a half ago, and it was triggered truly by a marriage retreat that Ryan and I put on in 2015. So I continued to get affirmation after doing that retreat. So on my third maternity leave, I decided I'm going to put every ounce of energy into seeing if this thing is going to work, because I felt in my soul like this is what I need to do. Project Time for You is coming alongside people and really having their back, engaging deep questions together, and letting people know that they're not alone in the journey, whatever that might be for them.
So these have been 2-day experiences, 1-day events, but to let people know they're not alone through different experiences that you can create and cultivate. And
yeah, and not limited to one thing or one demographic or one kind of event. All different things that we've hosted over the last, I guess 2 years.
So I think one of the misperceptions about starting something, about finding your big, is once you find it, it's just easy going from there on out. But most of you know this isn't true. Most of you know that there's 10 struggles, and then that one will succeed, or there's 100 things that go wrong, but then there's the couple things that actually do go right. So tell us about some of the things, still the ongoing things that come up, or the fears, or the things that make you say, well, maybe I should go back to the old way.
Well,
Even though you could never do that.
I don't know that I could ever go back to the old way
right.
now, because I think my heart has been open to these endless possibilities of impact and the people that I am so grateful that I'm able to reach, and not even in my own backyard. So that's huge. But yeah, I don't know. I think that the things that limit me, of course, are my own, like I said earlier, my fears and my insecurities. And I feel like, yes, I have these skills, I have a degree, I feel something to say. But what if people don't show up? What if people don't find me credible? And again, you always have that self-doubt and the wondering if people will say, well, sure, I'm going to invest my time and my energy into that, and does she really have something to say? So that was something I did have to work through, especially with Ryan, because I always felt like I was, as far as this came to Project I'm For You and encouraging people, Ryan had something to say. I didn't really have that story. Ryan had this amazing platform of speaking and encouraging people. I didn't really feel like it was my thing until I took that leap of faith and started sharing my story, which I feel, in speaking to you guys, I want to encourage you. You all have a story too, and once you start figuring it out and talking about your backstory and engaging it and then moving it into action, I think can you really truly uncover the shame, the fears, and find gratitude in the small things along the journey that keeps pushing you forward.
Yep. And here's what I know, and looking at Tami's life and seeing her absolutely come alive and be who she was created to be, and to live into your, what we might call your true self, your authentic self, all the words we can come up with that. But to see you truly come alive, you have to take those steps because they're confidence builders. So your mind will tell you 100 reasons why you can't do this, why you're not competent enough, you're not good enough, someone else is in line.
Right.
You're not, let someone else do it. They know more about these things than you know. You will tell yourself 100 reasons why you shouldn't start the new thing, or
Exactly.
to start taking steps, those leaps of faith. But the thing is, when you take those, they truly are confidence builders to say, wait a minute, I can do this. Wait a minute, not only can I do this, I love to do it. It brings me life, and it's bringing other people life around me. And that's the thing about taking those steps. They're hard to take, but once you take them, you find new life.
Yeah, so I guess if I could encourage you guys, look for the affirmations that you're getting. And if you have something that's pulling on your heartstrings and pulling you forward, engage them and take time to think about them and process them. And then I guess find yourself in some space where you can be open and aware, as Ryan and I like to say, and then listen for those affirmations. Because once I received those affirmations, it literally was, I like to refer to it as a smack across the face, and it was a moment I woke up.
Yeah, if you have a bunch of people in your life saying, and Tammy certainly had this, people would tell me, and they would tell her too, hey, you need to do this thing. You're really good at it. You're a leader. People listen to you when you talk about these things. You need to go after this. Man, if people are saying that to you, go after it. It's your thing. It's the thing God's pulling you towards. So go after that. If there's energy there, follow that energy. And that's what I'm seeing her do now.
Don't just take a baby step. Full in, 100%. For me, maybe it's not the case for you. For me, it was all or nothing. So it was a huge leap of faith. And thank God that I did take that leap of faith.
And here's what I'll say. We just have a couple of minutes. We got to go meet our team. But we're only a year into this thing, so we're actually brand new in it. We're still figuring out as we go. We know we're not going back to that place. We know our 3 babies at home, who are with Nani, my mom. We know they have their mom at home most days, and it's absolute crazy chaos. But in all that chaos, a beautiful mess, and all of it, it's like, yeah, this is the thing that feels right. This is the thing that is good for our family. Doesn't mean it's easy. There are days you want to pull out your hair and say, what were we thinking? Why are we doing this? Even the financial struggles that come along from leaving your secure job and to stepping into something new. There will be all sorts of financial doubts and worries and concerns along the way.
Yes.
But for us, it's working right now, and I am grateful for this lady. She is my stronghold, my rock. Happy birthday, honey.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Hey, we're gonna go. You want to show the book real quick? Then we're out of here.
Quick. Well, our rough version
It's not
of
in published form yet. It's not, but here's the very rough form. Yeah.
We brought this. It's kind of easy to travel with, but we'll be talking about this all week. And then I will be doing a little TEDx style event with Project Humanity. They invited me to be a keynote speaker, so I will be sharing about my journey. I touched on just a tiny bit of it this morning, so I'm excited to share my journey and my why with the people of Rusinga Island.
All right, guys. Hey, we're out of here. Stay tuned for more Start Stories coming your way. Peace. Love y'all.